session of Tony Talks right here on YouTube. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel at I am Tony215, and please do not forget to follow me on Instagram, Facebook at I am Tony215. Today on Tony Talks, how do you pick your men? What criteria do you use or do you have that you use to pick your men? What do you look for in a man that you want to potentially date? What do gay men use? What do they use to gauge, whether they are going to date this guy or not? This guy that's smooth talking them, and this guy that's telling them everything they want to hear. The guy that has sent out his best representative. What do you look for beyond, all that fluff? Does he have to have character? To me, character is built, based on society standards. So I really don't necessarily go by the character based on what society says. I look beyond that. But, to each his own. Do you require him to have character? Confidence. Does he need to be confident? Yeah, I would say he needs to be confident. Confidence is sexy. Non-confidence, it's not necessarily sexy. It's cute. It can be cute. It can, show your vulnerability, show, a little weak side of yourself. But at the end of the day, I think we all can agree. Confidence, yeah, that's a winner. A job. Can he at least please have a job? Is a job important? Would you date a man that did not have a job? You met him and he just didn't have a job. What if he never got a job? Would you continue to date him? Are there other things that this particular individual could provide you outside of sex that you would deem valuable enough to allow him to not work? Money. Does he have to have money? His lifestyle can be very deceiving. Of course, social media. Social media can be very deceiving. What you see on social media may not necessarily be what is behind the curtain. People can flaunt and floss and, take pictures of, food that they ate and places that they went, but that doesn't mean that they have money. Is money important? I think at some point in time, money makes some type of difference. I mean, even if you split things 50-50. How can you split things 50-50 if this guy doesn't have money? If he's not trying to get money? A nice ass. I think we all can agree, a nice ass. That can be important. It depends on which end of the spectrum you're on. Common sense. Common sense. Maybe he's not an intellectual. Maybe he doesn't like talking about constellation mapping. Maybe he doesn't like talking about astrology, astronomy. Maybe he doesn't like talking about higher things. Maybe his conversation is really basic. Maybe his conversation doesn't go beyond Nicki Minaj and I don't know, whoever else is out there. Maybe all he talks about is Beyonce. Would you continue to date him? I've dated guys that all they talked about is Atlanta Housewives and Beyonce, and maybe entertaining, but 24/7, and to get into an argument about it, to me, that just doesn't spell common sense, Common sense tells you that these things are made up, these things are not real, this is television, and it's entertainment, it's programming, To buy into it is craziness, and to talk about it 24/7 hours a day is ludicrous. I need you to have common sense. Where do you meet your men? I ask this question because I'm curious, where do gay men meet each other? I live in Atlanta, and in Atlanta, there's either the club or there's Jack the Grinder. There's not really many places to meet people, to meet each other. Where do you meet these men? Some people say grocery stores. I can say personally, I've never met a man at a grocery store. When I go in the grocery store, I'm going there to get, my bell peppers, my onions, my rice, my beans, The last thing on my mind is finding a man. I'm not saying it's not possible. Is a grocery store a great place to meet a man? People say the movies. I think this is a bad choice. No. You know, I was raised by my grandmother, and she's from the old school. And one thing she always told me, on the first date, you never, ever go to the movies. At the movies, you gotta be quiet. Yeah, you can make out. You depending on which theater you're in, you know, you probably go all the way, but you know, general idea of the movies is to be quiet, shut the fuck up, and watch the film. So how can you really get a chance to know someone if you go to the movies? But some of us do. Some people say church. Church is a great place to meet people, and it just so happens to be an even better place to meet gay men. Seems today the church is full of us, and hey, gay men have to go to church too. Gay men have to connect to God. Gay men have to worship and praise the Lord as well. Is it shocking that you should find us all over the church? Is church a great place to meet gay men? Some would say it's a great place to meet DL men. Men that are on the DL. They're married with kids. Probably the deacon of the board, you know. They like getting their ass ate out by God. I think it's a great place to meet DL men. People say malls. I could go with that. Food court is there. You can go in the food court and have a little lunch together and talk and get to know each other and maybe exchange each other's numbers. So, yeah, why not? The mall would be a great place. I mean, I really don't know how you would tell, you know, like who's who. You know, you could always rely on one of those apps. Jack Grindr. Restaurants. I don't know. I can't really say that I've ever went to a restaurant and met someone, unless it was a waiter, and it might be a little play thing, but not something I would take serious. Restaurants, are they a great place to meet people? Are they a great place to meet a potential partner? It's possible. Nothing's not possible. The chances of you going home with another person from a restaurant, you have a better chance of going home with a plate of ribs than you would another person. Threesomes. I don't know how this got into the category, but threesomes, you know, are threesomes a great place to meet someone that you are gonna date? I guess it depends on how you look at it. I mean, you've already tried the cow before you buy it, so you already know what you're getting yourself into. You know whether you like it or you know whether you don't like it. You know whether they're good in bed or whether not. I have to admit that I am guilty of this. I did meet one of my exes through a threesome. We dated for about 8 months. It was very short-lived. I understand why, but I can't really judge anybody on this because this happened to me. I liked him a lot. As the old folks say, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Work. A lot of people meet each other at work. Is this a healthy place to meet people, to meet potential partners? Some people would say yes, some people would say no. Maybe if it helps you climb the corporate ladder. If it helps you, get to that position that you've been wanting to be CEO of a company. Some people sleep their way to the top. But is work a great place to meet people? Is it a great place to meet a potential partner? It happens all the time. It happens every day. Is it good for the work environment? Is it good for the home environment? Does it need to be tall or short? Does it matter, if he's tall or if he's short? Some people pick their potential partners based on physical attributes. If he's short and you liked him and you thought it was great, and you thought it was refreshing, is that enough? Is that enough for you to overlook his height? Or does he just have to be tall? Will you walk away from a potential person that fits all the criteria? Will you walk away from them just because they're short? They're 5'5" instead of 6'1". Height really doesn't matter to me. I really don't care. Of course, I prefer you to be my height because, you know, the last thing I want to do is stand on a ladder or have to stand on a ladder just to embrace you. I think the tallest guy that I've ever been with was 6'7". Yeah, after we finished, he like literally picked me up like a child and gave me a hug and then set me back down on the floor, and I felt kind of like that small. I couldn't date him. Great guy, but couldn't date him. Too tall for me. Is there a limit? Is there a limit? Is this how you pick your man? How he lives, is that a factor in how you pick your man? Does he live on the bad side of town in a roach-infested apartment, you know, with the curtains taped to the window? Would that determine whether you dated this guy, whether you picked this man to be your potential partner? I mean, he was great. He was intellectually smart. You know, he had great conversation. He was handsome. He was sexy. But, you know, he lived in the hood. He didn't live in the best apartment. Maybe a cabinet was missing. Maybe no matter how much he cleaned the bathroom, it still looked fucking dirty. If you went over his house and you just so happened to see the remains of a roach, you know, in a corner, would you back away? Would you run the opposite way? Is this something that you use to pick your man? Does he not own a house? Does he not own a condo? Some people base their relationships on these material things. These are a requirement for some people. Is he a good guy or a bad boy? There are people out there, and to each his own, you know, they love a bad boy. And the good guy is, you know, he's boring. Good guy is kind of like, it's cute. He's just a twinge. Just a little bit of bad in him, just a dash. Some people like the guy that's just a complete, he's a badass. He's been to jail. He will beat your ass at the split of a second and think nothing of it. He'll drag you out of the fucking house. He will stalk you. Some people think this is sexy. I don't. I think it's iconic, but that's just me. I mean, me personally, I like good guys. I like guys that are nice, that are sweet, loving, caring, you know, all the good, fluffy, you know, airy things. Does he have a big dick or a small dick? I mean, you know, to a lot of guys, this is very, very important. There are a lot of men out there that will pass you by. They will pass you by if you do not have a 12-inch dick. I know I've done a Tony Talks on this before, and I asked the question, you know, does dick size matter? And overwhelmingly, unanimously, you know, the response was no. So I'm just curious, why is it such an issue in the community? You know, when it's posed as a question, men say it's not. And there's a small percentage of men that, well, I think society calls them in the community size queen. These are men that, you know, if your dick is not, you know, 14 inches or more, it's a no. Yeah, I really don't know if you're wearing a diaper or not, but yeah, I think a 14-inch dick, I don't think that's sexy. I mean, just knowing that, you know, you take 14-inch dicks, I mean, you know, how can most of us fulfill that, you know? But does it matter? What if he has kids? What if this guy you met, you know, we'll just say you met at Starbucks, you know, you met at the bookstore, you know, met at Barnes and Nobles. I mean, boring. You met at the park. He has kids. You know, you don't have any kids. You don't want any kids. You're not thinking about any kids, but he has kids, and not the big ones, like the small ones, you know. They're like 7 and 8 years old, you know. You still have to deal with them, not the grown ones. Would this be a factor? Would you blend in with the family? Would you feel awkward and be turned off completely just because he has kids. It happens. It happens. There are men out there that, for some reason, they only attract DL married men. It happens. It happens, and it does. And they have kids. You know, they have kids. You know, when this guy decides that he wants to break away from tradition and he wants to live his life and he wants to be himself, you know, he has kids and he wants to integrate them into what you guys got going on. How would you handle that? You know, would you continue to date him? You know, would this be something that's, I don't know, important to you? So the question is, how do you pick your man? You know, does he have to have intellectual conversation with you? Does he have to be able to complete a sentence? Or is he just something beautiful to look at? There are men out there that they just want a man that he looks good. He looks good aesthetically, you know, he's in shape and has a beautiful face, has beautiful teeth, beautiful nails. He's just beautiful. And that's all they want. They don't give a fuck about the conversation. They don't give a damn about if he has a brain. They don't care if he has, they don't even care if he has feelings. Like, fuck the feelings, you know, he looks great. There are men out there that are just really quiet. They don't say much, you know. Right? They're not gonna sit there and talk to you about politics. They're gonna sit there and talk to you about, you know, their world views and all that great stuff. Is that important for you? Would this be something that wouldn't matter to you? Just as long as you were in a relationship and you had someone there to cuddle up to at the end of the day and someone to help you with the bills. I'm over the trophy piece days. I mean, I need to be able to connect with you mentally, and we need to be able to talk about higher things other than Nicki Minaj, you know. Things other than the MTV Awards. Things more than the last episode of The Atlanta Housewives. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I need a little bit more. How do you pick your man? Please leave a comment right there. And please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel at IamTony215. And please don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, and Twitter, all at IamTony215. Seems that I have had a bit too much to drink. I need to get out of here because I gotta use the bathroom. I'll see you guys later, and thank you for watching, and peace.